What's happening, NXPT? This is Andrea, your performance dietitian and fellow NXPT member, and we are heading into the second week of our FRC North versus South Fitness Results Challenge. It's been a good week so far. Hopefully, you guys are going to tons of different classes and doing things outside of the gym as well. And when it comes to your nutrition, if you haven't watched the first week's video, you can go back on the NXPT YouTube playlist. There's a nutrition playlist, and you can watch the first video. The first video is all about your scan and how to kind of interpret your results. And then this week, let's get into some action, what you should be doing with your nutrition. So, a couple things I recommend for starting off the bat, and all these are just suggestions. You can do anything you want to improve your nutrition. You do not have to make it complicated, even if it's things like drinking more water, trying to get protein at every meal, just small things. You don't have to totally redo your entire diet. But if you're looking for some other tangible things to kind of start with, what I usually recommend is just starting in your kitchen and looking at your food environment. So do a little clean out. It's not spring yet, but do a little spring cleaning. Go through your refrigerator, go through your cupboard, clear stuff out, throw away, snacks or donate, put it on your buy nothing Facebook groups, stuff that you're not going to be eating anymore. That could be like processed foods and processed snacks, or of course, if things are expired, just throw them away. And then look around your kitchen, dining room environment. And really, you should have clean countertops. There should not be candy bowls and snacks and all these things out in plain view, because if it's out, you are going to be consuming it. Of course, we could go a step further backwards and just say not buying that stuff at all at the grocery store, because you're not going to eat it if you don't buy it in the first place. But just starting with what you have in your house, clear your countertops. The only thing that you should have on your countertops is like a fruit bowl. They've actually done studies. This is super cool, where they've gone into people's homes and they've looked at their environment and what they have like sitting out. And they found that people had better body composition and healthier body weights when they had just a fruit bowl on their counter and nothing else. And then people that had like cereal boxes and snack boxes and all these desserts and treats and candy bowls out had less favorable body composition and had heavier weight. So just one thing to kind of think about is your environment. That's just at home. In your workplace, same thing. Make sure that you don't have like a candy drawer or any of those things in reach. This is obviously going to be a challenge if you work in like a large area or somewhere where other people are bringing things in as well. But that's when it comes down to you bringing your own food when you're going to work or having your own food at home. So, what your meals ideally should look like, you want to prioritize protein. So, you want to have a good protein source at all of your meals and snacks. This is going to be something like eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. You can do protein powder in smoothies or mix it into really anything. Chicken, fish, turkey, poultry, beef, all of those high protein foods you want to have at all of your meals and snacks. You also want to have non-starchy vegetables, so some sort of color. So this can be things like tomatoes and bell peppers and spinach. Leafy greens are super healthy, super nutritious. So make sure that you just have a variety of color with your meal. And then your carbohydrate portion is going to depend on your activity level. So if you and what time of day that you're eating that meal. You really need carbohydrates surrounding your workout. So these are things like grains, bread, rice, cereal, pasta, tortillas, also fruit and fruit juice. Although I don't really recommend drinking fruit juice, you should eat whole fruit and drink water. And so your meals, really, the components are going to be protein, colorful non-starchy veggies, and then a little bit of carbohydrate if you're surrounding your workout. Other times of the day, you really should be focusing on protein and then your high fiber veggies. You don't need a ton of carbohydrates at other times of the day when you're not before or after your workout. If you have a really physically demanding job or you're really active throughout the day, then yes, you need more carbohydrate at all those other meals and snacks. But for most of us that have pretty sedentary days, we're not super active other than going to the gym. surrounding your workout, you can have carbs, but later on in the day, that's when to decrease the portion sizes of those things. You always want to eat the protein of your meal first. If your items are separated, if you're eating a mixed meal, just make sure that you have protein and healthy fats. So it's going to be things like nut butters, like almond butter, peanut butter, avocado, chia seeds, good salad dressings that are made with like olive oil. And you want to make sure that you are having protein, healthy fats, veggies, and if your food is all separated, eat your carbs last. That is going to help to slow the rise in your blood sugar after you're eating, and it's going to help you have more stable energy levels after eating. If you have a mixed meal, you do not need to separate out the protein and the carbs and the fat. Eat it all together, but basically just don't eat carbs by themselves. Or if you do have a separate source of carbohydrate in your meal, eat that last. Snacks are an important part of your nutrition. It's an opportunity to get more nutrients into your body in between meals and also sustain your energy between meals. So, most people that are active get hungry every 3 to 5, 4 to 6 hours. And so, look at your daily schedule and think, when is your next meal going to be? And if it's more than, let's say, 5 hours, then you might need a small snack in between to help get you to that next meal. So that could be anything from a single serving of like Greek yogurt with some berries. You could also do cottage cheese with mixed nuts. Beef jerky is a really good high protein snack, so are hard-boiled eggs or the small individual servings of cheese. You can do any type of veggies, so you can do bell peppers, especially the baby bell peppers. Those are great because you don't even have to cut them. They're like perfect snack size. Baby carrots, or you can cut up whatever veggie you like. Cucumbers, tomatoes, really anything, and you just have that ready to go. People always ask me about like what bars are best, and there's so many that I could never keep an inventory of like the exact ones that are okay to eat. But what I recommend looking for is something that are whole food sources. So some examples of this are things like Kind bars, Perfect bars, RX bars. These are things, Go Macro bars. These are things that if you look at the ingredient list, it's like nuts, dried fruit, maybe there's some chocolate in there, which is totally fine. And those bars, I think, are the best because you're getting like healthy fats from the nuts and it's dried fruit. They're whole sources. It's not a bunch of processed like soy fillers that are like for the protein powder and all that. Like you should be eating your protein from whole food sources. And then those little snack items are just like emergency. Keep them in your purse, keep them in your car if you need a snack when you're out. You can also just keep little individual like trail mix packages in your car, your purse. Obviously, those are great because they don't have to be refrigerated. You can just stash those. And if you need a snack, then you can snack on those. So having your meals kind of structured and then having snacks in between is kind of the general idea. I do recommend if you haven't before, try tracking your food. So using a app on your phone, there's a ton of free ones out there, Chronometer, Lose It, MyFitnessPal, and just track your food. And this can also help you to plan ahead by entering your meals in advance, and then you already that's your way of meal planning. You don't have to think about what you're going to be eating. Um, and in terms of meal planning, that also, of course, we have to talk about meal prepping. So it is so crucial that you are preparing at least something in advance, whether that's making your breakfast and lunch the night before, or if you're prepping all of your meals on like a Sunday or one of your days off, you have to do some sort of prep in advance. This does not have to be complicated. You can get a rotisserie chicken, bag salad, or those steamer bags of veggies and like microwave rice and put that together and just heat it up and portion it out, and there's a meal right there. So, depending on your interest and skill level with cooking, there are numerous ways to meal prep. You can also, of course, use our partner Lean Machine Meal Prep Company, and you can order from them. They're a meal delivery service. They have really good quality food. It tastes really good, and they deliver it to your doorstep on Sundays and Wednesdays. So we've been using them for our lunches, and then my husband and I still like to make our own breakfasts and dinners, but we rely on the meal prep company to take some of the meal prep off of our plate and provide our lunches. So if you haven't checked them out already, Lean Machine Meal Prep, they make great meals and they are super tasty. Um, in terms of what you guys can make for your other kind of batch cooking or meal prepping, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can double recipes, you can make specific recipes and divvy them up. You can also just what's called like batch cooking. So you can cook a bunch of protein. So maybe pick two things. So maybe pick like some ground beef and then some chicken thighs and make just large quantities of both of those things. And then throughout the week, you can put them into different meals. So you could top a salad, you could make a burrito bowl, you could make a stir fry, and you can put those into different kind of meals with different sauces and different veggies to kind of switch it up. Um, so that's one thing you can do. You can use, any kitchen equipment that you have, whether that is just a stovetop or if you have an air fryer or Instant Pot. It's really easy just to look up ideas online and see just simple things. Usually the brand of the appliance that you're using has a ton of basic recipes. So that's one place you can start if you're not sure where to look and you don't want to be reading a ton of food blogs online. So in today's video, we talked about what your kind of meals should be composed of. So you want to make sure that you have protein at all your meals and snacks. I said it in the first week's video, but most people need around 30 grams of protein at every single meal. And a minimum amount of protein for the day is going to be 100 grams. So a lot of our bigger guys are going to need a lot more than that, but I would say like bare minimum is going to be 100 grams of protein. So make sure you're getting 30 at each meal and then a little bit more at snacks in between those meals. I myself get around 140 to 150 grams of protein per day. I actually have not used protein powder in a very long time. I've just been making sure that I'm getting protein at all of my meals. And then I do have the Fairlife 30-gram protein shakes, and I actually put those into coffee. I've been drinking decaf, or I just drink it right after the gym. You can find those at Costco or online. Snacks, set yourself up for success ahead of time by making sure that you're stocking healthy snacks to have in between your meals, and your food environment, making sure that you're just doing a quick little winter cleaning and or New Year cleaning, and you're making sure that your kitchen countertops or even your workplace is like clear of junk food, and just having water bottle at work, having if you are someone that usually has like a candy bowl, try to turn that into like a trail mix bowl with little individual trail mixes, or a bowl of cuties or fruit. And in your home, same thing, just have like fruit on the countertops. And that's it for this week's video. I will see all of you guys in the gym, and check back for next week's video for week 3.